Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to look at how one of nature's most curious plants is actually giving us the blueprint for solving some of our biggest engineering challenges. Yeah, it's a story that connects a simple little leaf to the future of our cities and our factories.
So let's just dive right in with a single question that's going to take us from the forest floor all the way to the frontiers of technology. And you know what? The answer is already changing how we think about design.
So meet our inspiration, the Mimosa pudica. You might know it as the touch me not plant. When you touch it, its leaves do this incredible thing where they just dramatically fold inward. This amazing reaction is the starting point for, well, everything we're about to explore.
Okay, so what is actually going on here? I mean, it looks like some kind of magic trick, but it's pure biology. Let's break down the mechanics behind this super rapid movement.
The fancy scientific term for this is thigmonasty, and what that basically means is it's a pre-programmed response to touch. It's not just for show either. It's a really sophisticated defense mechanism. It's designed to either startle a potential predator, an insect or something, or to make the plant look smaller and way less appetizing.
And the speed here is just incredible. We're talking seconds for the leaves to fold up, and they can stay closed for up to 15 minutes. This isn't magic. It's actually a highly efficient hydraulic system. It's triggered by a sudden release of water from these specialized cells, which causes them to kind of collapse on themselves.
But there's a catch. This amazing defense, it comes at a price. And it reveals this really clever balancing act that nature has perfected over millions of years.
See, it all comes down to a trade-off. When the leaves are open, the plant is doing its thing, photosynthesizing, making food from sunlight. But it's also a big, visible target for anything that wants to eat it. When it closes up for safety, its energy production can literally plummet by up to 40%. So it's this constant decision. Do I make food or do I stay safe?
And get this, it's not just some simple automatic reflex. Research shows the plant's decision-making is incredibly sophisticated. Like in low light, when energy is really scarce, the leaves will reopen much faster after being touched. It's basically taking a bigger risk because it desperately needs that energy. It's behaving just like an animal, weighing risk versus reward.
So, what on earth does this brilliant natural trade-off have to do with human engineering? Well, this is where we make the leap from biology straight into technology.
This whole idea is called biomimicry, and it's all about looking at nature's genius, designs that have been tested and refined by millions of years of evolution, and then applying those principles to solve our own complex problems. And the Mimosa pudica, it's a perfect case study.
So let's start with our first application. We're going from this tiny little leaf to massive buildings that can actually respond to their environment.
I want you to imagine a building's outer skin that isn't just static. These are called kinetic shading systems. They're facades that can literally open and close or change their shape to control sunlight and heat. And the inspiration comes directly from how the mimosa's leaves respond to a stimulus.
And trust me, this isn't some futuristic fantasy. Research into these adaptive systems is absolutely exploding. Between 2000 and 2021, there were almost 900 publications on this topic. And then in just the last couple of years, hundreds more. It's a crystal clear sign that this idea is gaining some serious momentum.
Okay, so we've seen the big picture with buildings. Now let's zoom way in. We're moving from the massive facade of a skyscraper down to the micro level of inspecting a single piece of fabric. But the core principle? It's exactly the same.
In the textile industry, quality control is a huge headache. How do you automate the process of finding these tiny, almost invisible flaws in a really complex pattern? I mean, a human eye can spot them, but it's slow and it's expensive, and teaching a machine to do it is incredibly difficult.
So take a look at these two patterns. On the left, it's perfect. But on the right, can you spot the defect? It's a tiny little inconsistency. So the question is, how do you teach a machine to reliably spot that difference when it's scanning miles and miles of fabric?
Well, the solution, inspired by our sensitive plant, is an algorithm that feels its way across the pattern. It picks a random pixel, that's the touch. Then it just checks that pixel's color and state against its immediate neighbors. If there's a mismatch, an inconsistency in the local environment, it flags it as a defect. It's a simple, localized check that's just repeated millions of times with unbelievable precision.
And if you thought that was cool, researchers have taken this whole idea to its logical conclusion. They've gone a step further and built a robot that directly mimics the plant's physical form and function.
And this is not your typical factory robot designed for heavy lifting.
not at all. Its whole purpose is to replicate that super delicate, responsive movement of the leaves. It uses a type of adaptive software, what engineers call a fuzzy knowledge base, to interpret things and control its movements with nuance. The potential applications for this are huge, everything from delicate robotic grippers to responsive medical devices.
So what's the big takeaway here? Let's zoom back out for a second and connect all these dots.
This is the power of biomimicry right in front of us. We started with a simple survival instinct, a plant folding its leaves to avoid being eaten. And from that single, elegant mechanism, we've come up with blueprints for energy-efficient architecture, highly precise manufacturing, and a whole new class of sensitive robotics.
And that really leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? If this one, unassuming little plant holds the solution to so many complex human problems, just imagine what other revolutionary secrets are out there, waiting for us in our gardens, our forests, our oceans, hiding in plain sight.